Yes.
Recording in progress.
Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you. Well, welcome everyone to our July 18, 2023, 2 o'clock regular legislative session meeting. Let the record reflect that all 5 commissioners are present, and we had a nice time this morning at the opening. Well, it was kind of the ribbon cutting of this city line, and Commissioner French, great job on speaking. So very good.
Thank you.
It was a warm morning out there. Some people braved the sun, and lots of us stood in the shade. But it was a great time. So thank you all for commissioners. I think all of us were there, so it was a good time had by all, and to open the city line. With that, then, I just want to let people know that we do not have any written comments for today's agenda. So then I will then take it to our open public forum. So we do have 3 people signed up for open public forum. And so I'm going to start off with Brianna Franzen. And I think state your name and address for the record, and then we'll start the 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Brianna Franzen. My address 12612 East Desmet in Spokane Valley, 99216. So I'm here today to talk about scraps. So True No Kill is about valuing animals. There are many municipalities who adhere to the measurably high standards. Scraps previously had, and they still can. No-kill success is not achieved by changing the public, but by changing the shelter's policies and procedures. Dozens upon dozens of county municipalities hold themselves to this standard and have been successful at True No-Kill. Many of the programs identified as key components of no-kill are actually more cost-effective than killing animals or doing assessments which are scientifically proven to be ineffective. A multi-state study found no correlations between per capita funding for animal control and their save rates. Keeping animals alive does not dramatically increase costs, since it takes roughly the same amount of time to kill an animal as it takes to clean a kennel. And cleaning kennels can be done by an unpaid volunteer if they were actually being recruited. True no-kill costs are actually enhanced with the free support of volunteers, nonprofits, and the community. When you're transparent and adopt a true no-kill philosophy, the volunteer rates increase dramatically, thus reducing costs. These free services reduce expenses while increasing capacity and increasing adoption rates, which increase revenue. The main difference in shelters saving lives and those unnecessarily killing was the commitment of the director in implementing alternatives to killing. Shelter killing is the leading cause of death in healthy dogs and cats in the U.S., and regressing to scientifically disproven behavior assessments that are as effective as flipping a coin, especially one that is not a no-kill model, is a choice. It's a choice made by the people running the shelter. We ask that you commit to a true no-kill method that has been implemented for half a decade now, and hire experienced, qualified, and honest management. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Nadera Shirazi. Hi, thank you. And if you can please state your name. I probably didn't say it correctly, so if you can say it again and your address, and then the 3 minutes will start.
My name is Nadera Shirazi, and my address is 8711 North Colton Street, Spokane, Washington, 99218. अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मेरा नाम नगमाना शिराजी है और मैं 8711 नॉर्थ कोल्टन स्ट्रीट पर मुकीम हूँ, जहाँ मैं आपसे गुजारिश करती हूँ कि तमाम काउंटी और सिटी की वेबसाइट्स और मुख्तलिफ़ इक़साम की दस्तावेज़ात जो कि एक आम शहरी की ज़रूरत हैं, उनको उर्दू, हिंदी, पंजाबी, पश्तो, फ़ारसी, कोरियन, चीनी, यूक्रेनियन, जापानी जैसी ज़बानों में तर्जुमा करना अशद ज़रूरी है, ताकि वो लोग जो कि अंग्रेज़ी नहीं समझते या बोलते उनके लिए आसानी हो। मैं लैंड्स काउंसिल के लिए काम करती हूँ और एजेंट्स फॉर कलेक्टिव लिबरेशन और स्पोकैन के लिए भी काम करती हूँ, और मेरा एक छोटा सा नॉन प्रॉफिट है, Muslims for Community Action and Support, MCAS. I'll translate in English for your benefit. So, Assalamu alaikum is just a basic greeting, peace upon you. My name is Nadera Shirazi. I work as Climate Justice Program Director at the Lands Council and also as a community outreach and advocacy organizer for Agents for Collective Liberation in Spokane. As you are aware, climate change is wreaking havoc in many ways in our area. The inland Northwest specifically suffers through a fifth season referred with lovely sarcasm as the fire season, because what else are we supposed to do? Move from Spokane and the inland Northwest, despite the fact that we love it here? So I have watched with mounting anxiety since I moved to Spokane in 2012 how each year the fire season becomes progressively more severe, starts earlier and ends later. My son has asthma, and I live in a small apartment that was built in the 70s. As much as I try, by closing all doors and windows, I am unable to block every crevice that in that old apartment. I can't do that, and can only watch in helplessness as the smoky air exacerbates my son's condition. I have used SNAP's weatherization services and the health district's resources, but even so, I, who can speak, read, and write English adequately, am sometimes unable to find the resources that I need on our county's websites. So imagine those who are not proficient in English. We post all these things on our websites talking about this is where you go for cooling shelters, this is what you do to keep yourself alive. And these people, because they do not have access to English, it's a barrier for them because of their language, are not able to access this information. They don't know where to go or how to get to these resources. Most refugees and immigrants face this issue. The county and city's websites, forms, public service announcements must be translated in the languages that are prevalent in our county. Just alone at Lewis and Clark, 188 different languages are spoken. And I'm not saying translate everything in 188 languages, but at least do it for the elderly who can then do the business that they can. Thank you for this opportunity to bring you a vital need from my community and my household to your ears. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Omid Ahmadi, and I'm sure I didn't say that correctly either, so I will let you state your name properly and your address for the record, and then your 3 minutes will start.
Thank you so much. My name is Omid Ahmadi, and I live at 5110 North Emerald Lane, Spokane, Washington, 99212. Gotcha. So, Salamun alaikum. نام من هستش امید احمدی. من در زبانهای فارسی دری صحبت میکنم و در دانشگاه ویتسورث میرم. از سال 2015 تا حالا در آمریکا اومدیم و با خانواده‌ام زندگی میکنم. برای این که نه برادرم، نه مادرم، نه پدرم از سیستم چیزی سر در نمی آوردیم و نه کمکی در زبان خودمون بود و نه انگلیسی بلد بودیم، خیلی سخت بود که وقتی که اومدیم در آمریکا چیزی رو نمیفهمیدیم. مدرسه سخت بود، کاری نمیتونستیم بکنیم اینا و خیلی ازتون خواهش میکنیم که اگه میشه فرمایی که واسه ما میفرستید و وبسایت های for county اونا رو در انگلیش به ما بفرستید که خیلی راحت تر میشه. I'm gonna read it in English now in more detail because of the time. Hi, my name is Omid. I speak Dari and Farsi. I'm an immigrant from Afghanistan and living here in Spokane since 2015. I'm a freshman at Whitworth University and a member and remember when we first moved to Spokane. It was a very scary and strange time for us as we spoke limited English. Nothing made sense. School was intense and sometimes frightening because my parents and my siblings and I didn't know the system and there was no guidance in our language and we had limited English at the time. There are many elders in my community who are completely isolated because their families are too busy trying to build new life in Spokane, working full-time to support the family, going to school to learn English and new skills necessary for survival since we moved here. The elders can learn English language and other skills if there was information available in their language. Language access is a huge issue for my community and we are all trying so hard to fit in. To be productive members of society and build a future. If the elders could figure out the transit information where there are community centers for the elderly, how to get there, make doctor appointments, and so many things that are needed to stay well, connected, and healthy, they would be independent and well adjusted. Please help my community by translating forms, resources lists, and county websites in Dari, Pashto, and Farsi to enable us to live a good quality of life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so that is the 3 people that have signed up in advance. This is second call for anyone wishing to testify on today's open public forum. Anyone online? Okay, seeing no one online, no one in the audience, I'm going to do third and final call for any open public forum items. Seeing no one, I will then close the open public forum. I will ask my fellow commissioners if they wanted to take anything separately on today's agenda. Okay, then I will look to my fellow commissioners.
Madam Chair, move to approve items 2 and 3, including all sub-items on today's 2 p.m. consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, my motion is second to approve items 2A and 3A through O on today's consent agenda.
Could I speak to the
Yes.
motion? I just wanted to briefly speak to item 3B, and that relates to the board meeting schedule, and just wanted to say I'm appreciative for the inclusion of some language in the resolution that addresses public posting of documents and information that we put out ahead of our agendas. I think this is a positive step for the county to take to improve accessibility of information, transparency of our decision-making. I think it'll help make it easier for the public to follow along with our decision-making. I just wanted to thank the staff in particular for their work on this and feedback. Thank my other commissioners for their ideas and willingness to work through various questions and concerns that came up. I think we've got a good proposal.
Very good. Commissioner Muldrow.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. I wanted to thank Commissioner Jordan for his work on keeping us focused and moving along. So I look forward to having the community see those briefing packets and agenda items, along with the commissioners ourselves being able to review those and have access to those before the meeting. So thank you, Commissioner Jordan. And I also wanted to speak to 3L, which is a contract between the county and Pioneer Human Services. I wanted to thank Mr. Sparber for working with the MacArthur Foundation to move some money around to keep the RIDE program. This is free rides that folks who are involved in the criminal justice system can access to get to court, to get to appointments, treatment, other things necessary to keep moving forward in their lives and help us get folks here for their court appearances. So I appreciate that we're going to continue that RIDE program, and it seems like it's done a lot of good, and hopefully we'll be able to track the outcomes as we move forward. So thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, that will take us to any additional items. I do have a miscellaneous that we did talk about yesterday, where we need to come up with the committee for and pro and con on Measure 1. I think we had some discussions yesterday about it. I think that there's some of us that would maybe look to delay and see if we could do a special meeting on Friday morning at 9, if people are available. That keeps us in our work week and not into the recess time. So does Friday at 9 work?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, very good. Then
Will this be Zoom?
it will be Zoom, yes. I will be in Austin, Texas for the NACO conference, so I'll be Zooming in. If anyone happens to be in the conference room, I will probably let them lead the meeting, but if not, I think with the 5 of us, I can do it through Zoom. So then we will just be setting the pro and con committees at that point in time. If I just want to clarify, if we don't, then it goes to the auditor's office, and the auditor will be the one choosing those pro and con committees. And for the record, I just want to make sure that we did all, I mean, when we were talking about it yesterday, some of us were aware and some maybe not. And so Scott Simmons did send an email on Thursday, July 13th at 3:08 to all the commissioners regarding this. So there was an email that had gone out on Thursday afternoon. So I just wanted to clarify that for the record, but I think it's still, we're still working through. So we will have a special meeting on Friday at 9 a.m. Zoom. Will be, most of us, I think, will probably be on Zoom. So I don't think, we don't need a motion, or do we need a motion to set a special meeting?
Not today. You will need to provide notice as per the statute and have at least a physical location available for anybody who wishes to be present.
Okay. I believe our conference room will be that physical location where we hold our Monday morning meetings. So that'll be the physical location if anyone wants to attend. Otherwise, the Zoom link will be available. So, okay. Mr. Simmons or Mr. Anderson, any other items?
I do have one very quick miscellaneous item, Madam Chair. Prosecutor Larry Haskell did ask me to clarify one point that he made yesterday in his presentation regarding the grant funding for a victim witness coordinator in our office. He'd indicated that the salary difference between the county's position and the city's position was $25,000. It was slightly less. Lawyers and their dubious math skills. It's much closer to $14,000. However, as with most departments, we're having issues with our recruiting and retention, nonetheless. But he did want me to make that clarification today. So, thank you.
Very good. Thank you. And then I think, is there a couple of executive sessions?
I believe prosecuting attorney or our chief civil has one. I'll just add that I'll work with our clerk of the board to get that meeting noticed on Friday.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
And yes, I do have one executive session under pending potential litigation pursuant to RCW 4230-110-1I. Those present should be the board, myself, CEO Scott Simmons, Mike Sparber, Wes Zikoff from our office, and Tim Nault, also from the prosecutor's office.
Okay, and I apologize. How long do you anticipate that?
I would say 20 minutes
20 minutes?
should be adequate, and no action needed.
Okay, no action. So I am just going to check because I heard that there was potentially one more. Mr. McMorris, did you?
Thank you.
Just trying to help.
Yes, we do have one additional one under consideration of the acquisition of real estate. And that is under RCW 4230-110-1B. And in that meeting, in addition to the commissioners and Chris Anderson and myself, will be Jeff McMorris and Randy Bischoff. And that would be 20 minutes and no action.
Okay. So we have two executive sessions that were just stated for 20 minutes each. So, and no actions will be taken, are anticipated to be taken. So we will then, see if I can get my time, it's 2:22. So we'll probably sign some documents. We will start at 2:30 and go for 40 minutes and then anticipate no action. So we will conclude our meeting at that point in time. The commissioners will have our special meeting now on Friday, and then we'll be off for 2 weeks. So thank you all very much for being here. We appreciate it, and we'll see you back in early August.